So, you know how we have those particular furries of the furry fandom that we look up to as being, representatives of the furry fandom? We have Majira Strawberry. We used to have Kira the Wolf. We have, well, I guess we have Cathorix. We have Jacenifex. We have, various others. I think Majira Strawberry is really the only furry YouTuber I sort of gave a care about because his name kept popping up, and I watched him, and it's more about less laid back. He's got a good fursuit, but what makes a good furry a furry of the furry fandom, like a representative? What are the qualities that we would consider as somebody that we would want to identify as a true representative of the furry fandom? I ask this because it's just like, I have some criticisms of the furry fandom. I think that the furry fandom is kind of, a little bit shallow. We are easy to impress, as in put on a sparkly fursuit, and we're just like, ooh, wow, look at that. So what makes a good, face for the furry fandom? And I say this free of certain ideologues like Kage who say, well, the furry fandom needs to be a place of family friendly. We can keep the sex in the back room, even though I am totally a sexual deviant like the rest of you. He may have said those exact words. Maybe I'm just paraphrasing here. But you get what I'm saying. So here's my take on it. I think that the ideal representative of the furry fandom should be somebody between the ages of 18 to 30 years of age. Something like that, give or take. And I say that because the fandom's a really young fandom right now. I say young insofar as we've only been around since the 1980s. And that's only been a couple decades. Well, it's going on 40 years old now. Also, you have plenty of, gray muzzles. I am totally not castigating gray muzzles because I've known a good many gray muzzles, and I think they're pretty cool people on their own. But I'm just talking about greater furry fandom seems to be more receptive to a younger, individual to be sort of holding the mantle of being the face of the furry fandom. Yeah, I guess it's like being a celebrity or a pop star, but you're popular in a fringe fandom that is, the numbers are quite limited compared to greater society. But hey, I am totally all for it. So somebody between 18 to 30 years of age, mildly good looking, I would say. Mildly good looking, somebody that you can fantasize about being in bed with, male or female. Mostly male, unfortunately. I kid. But, man, it's such a sausage fest here. But, anyway, apart from that one little gripe, so somebody that you can, sort of, imagine yourself wanting to be with in bed. And obviously, I am totally going on what I think would be appealing to the greater furry audience. Somebody has an attractive persona, obviously. They themselves as an individual should be at least either plain looking or mildly attractive looking, or hell, even really attractive looking. But, should at least meet some sort of threshold of physical attractiveness. And their fursuit should also be, their fursona, I should say. Fursona, then we get to the fursuit. Fursona should be, interesting and, appealing and enjoyable to look at and very interesting, And so from there, you have a good fursuit, good high-quality fursuit, not one of those $200 Walmart fursuits. I'm talking about something that's, at least costing of $6,000, maybe less, maybe more. I'm looking at you, Captain Otter. Not kidding. But no, in all seriousness, something that would be aesthetically pleasing to look at, especially in a YouTube video. Something that I don't currently have right now. Why I'm using FaceRig. So I say all that because, I'm thinking about how the next few representatives of the furry fandom can sort of take upon the qualities of being one of the new faces of the furry fandom. Also, as it relates to right now, I would say relatively free of scandal, not necessarily free of drama, since drama happens on a daily basis in the furry fandom. If you're not ready for it, well, tough luck, pal. Obviously, I've seen plenty of Popufurs bounce back from drama. Nobody's perfect, okay? there's bound to be something that you do or something that you say that's going to piss somebody off and somebody's going to get smitten. But there's a certain threshold that you can fuck up so many times before people really start to take notice of your negative characteristics. So try not to be an attention whore or, you know, just artificially arrogant or arbitrarily just like very, you know, thick and grating in how you address other people and how you do things, how you relate to other people. So from there, we've established those sorts of qualities. How about something else? Let's see. Let's take a moment to think about this. So they need to speak with confidence. They need to, you know, really assume a sort of, you know, stance on life. This is all what I'm about. This is what we're out to do. And, you know, have some fairly interesting kinks to go along with that. Because, you know, there's got to be a sexual appeal here. Like, I'm not saying that it should be one of those things where it's like, hey, I am all about being a furry slut, and I want to have sex with those people. No. Because people are going to be, that's going to be problematic pretty quick. But it should be left unstated, and people should be like, you know, speculating on it. Because if people are speculating on it, you know, that right there tells you that you're noticeable enough to draw the attentions of others. And people are just going to be like, yo, check this guy out. You think he's good in bed? You think he's a top or a bottom? I'm kidding. But, so, the furry fandom being a sexualized fandom as it is, there should be a sexual appeal there. Definitely. So, we've already covered all that. They should have some interesting hobbies or, like, interests besides partying and getting drunk. They should, I don't know, if there's, like, a couple different routes you can go. You should be a good artist, maybe a good animator, maybe a good video editor, maybe you make fursuits yourself and keep making those fursuits and you attract attention that way. Or maybe you're into rock climbing and hang gliding and you're more of like the physical like aspect of things. Or maybe you're a blend of the two. Maybe you're an everyman, maybe you're a Renaissance man or woman if you happen to be a woman. So you have to be, I'm not saying you have to be, but like it would be nice if you could be those qualities, but also just be talented. And if you're not talented right now, at least show the willingness to try to become talented and really distinguish yourself from the masses. Because people are going to want to look up to somebody that isn't like what they see as a pleb. You know what I mean? They want to see somebody that's got drive, skill, talent, and, you know, a markedly good personality. I'm not saying the best personality, obviously the furry fandom being what it is, a giant trash heap that's constantly on fire, ever since any trauma happens. You know, there should be like a sort of balance between all of this. And obviously not perfect, but also another component to all this is being present at conventions, because where else are furries going to, or at least fur meets, where else are furries going to congregate in a real life setting? Conventions, fur meets. You know, people want to see their idols walking about in public. So, something to think about. Other than all that, somebody that's truly relatable. And I say relatable in that, you know, maybe they're struggling like the rest of us. Maybe they're doing things that are something we can get behind. Maybe, you know, they face the same problems as the rest of us. Anyway. Also, the artwork should be top tier, okay? I'm not saying the artwork they draw, I'm saying that the artwork that they have commissioned. Like a mixture of good artists, some mediocre artists, maybe some, you know, starting artists, but for the most part, some good, flashy, stylized artwork that's going to be appealing. Yeah, like, when you have like your character drawn, or people have their characters drawn, it's kind of like marketing yourself, you know? You're sort of like embellishing yourself. You're sort of showcasing, like, ooh, look at me. I'm, you know, this, and this. I'm sexy and I know it. So people are going to recognize that and be like, ooh, are you that one guy, you know, drawing, you know, series? People are going to like that. So, other than that, have something that distinguishes you from everyone else and capitalize upon it. People are going to take notice of you, and if you are really good in your respective role or pursuit or endeavor, people are going to appreciate you for it. And when they appreciate you for it, you can get popular for it. And if you can give back to the furry fandom in that way, the furry fandom needs more talented individuals. And obviously people like Matthew Obel have gone to do mainstream things to get wider appeal, to become more successful in their craft. But Matthew Obel shows me that he's an example of one of those people that comes back to the furry fandom because, he's gained success, he's come back, he puts on his shows at furry cons because, he appreciates his roots, and his influence, like on the furry fandom, and how that's where he, got started, and it's been an ongoing presence on his life, and more power to him. I own one of his albums. I need to buy some more. But yeah, so we've covered all that. Good fursuit, good persona, interesting personality, and you can buy a $6,000 persona, but can you really buy a personality? Well, I guess if you paid $6,000 for a fursuit, yes, that is a personality right there. So, that all being stated, these are all broad generalizations. Obviously, I don't have any examples to really cite besides Majira Strawberry off the top of my head. Maybe Captain Otter, but he's kind of pissing people off lately. Pepper Coyote, Jason Effects, man. I'm coming to realize in the making of this video that maybe I care about people that, they're popular in their own right, but maybe they are not the face of the furry fandom. But I would like to say, right here and right now, that people like Crunkle fucking Kage or Dragoneer are definitely not faces of the furry fandom. I will give hats off to Crunkle Kage insofar as he's been a relatively successful chemist, and that as a con chair, he's got a sense of personality and charisma behind him that, so let's deviate from the more popularized people and gravitate towards people that might not be so popular, but are infamous in their own right. Two Griffin, Foxler, Two Griffin, Foxler. I know there's more, but I'm talking about wide notoriety. Oh, yeah, I remember now. That one dude from MFF that wore the Confederate fursuit got tackled, Ray Lewis tackled, and ripped out of his fursuit. No, wait. No. The story is, he ripped out his fursuit to try to run away from the cops. But I don't want to spread rumors right now. So, just leave it as he got arrested in his fursuit. Yeah. I'm not saying that the MFF staff was right in trying to block him from leaving the convention, because if he's asked to leave and he leaves and you are blocking the door, preventing him from leaving, you're in the wrong, buddy. You're basically putting somebody in a bad situation knowingly. And yeah, he wore a Confederate fursuit. I've seen him at, what was it? No, wait, he didn't wear a Confederate fursuit this time. He wore a German, a World War I German outfit called, what was it? The Hindenburg. And yeah, it didn't work out for him because people found out that he was actually the Confederate fursuiter. And, well, it didn't quite work out for him. So, good example of what not to do. If you know that you're not welcome at a FurCon, they explicitly tell you in a note, hey, maybe you shouldn't come. I'm not saying that you should take it lying down. Maybe you should make an appeal and be like, look, man, I got every right to go to this con as everybody else. That is a valid thing to do, but showing up anyway and making an ass of yourself, probably not the best thing to do. While we're talking about things that make a Popufur. So, Foxler. I have mixed feelings about the guy. I personally met him at BLFC last year. I thought he was a pretty cool dude. With respect to his armband. But all in all, I would have to say he was, pretty nice guy. Just talking to him, I didn't have any real problems with the guy. Although I have to say that the armband is a little bit auspicious. A white circle against a red background with a paw print. I don't know. Not something I would recommend wearing out in public, but okay. More power to him if he gets away with it. So he's well known throughout the furry fandom for being the head of the Furry Raiders. And if you don't know who the Furry Raiders are, they're the people that wear those armbands, and they are all about, and I am going off of their words, not my own, inclusion and the sanctity of holding the fandom together and making it a loving and accepting place. Although I will say that Foxer didn't really help himself out lately by pledging support to Kira the Wolf, but let's move on from that. So, 2 Griffin, he's a loudmouth comedian that I was made aware of when he was removed from Antrocon. He was like I wouldn't say he was like a main, yeah, he was a mainstay at Antrocon. He was a popular comedian that people went out to see the shows for, but maybe his stuff got too stale. Maybe the outrage sort of like, approach to whatchamacallit, like comedic value got stale and people got bored and they're just like, well. But yeah, he was removed due to political reasons, which is kind of bullshit, but hey, I'm sure Antrocon staff had a very good reason for why they removed him. Also, let's pick somebody that's infamous for completely different reasons. Kira the Wolf. You remember me talking about him. I made like 3 videos about him. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but he did some bad, naughty things, and he sort of lied to his audience about, certain facts, at least when he was trying to exonerate his good name. He lied about the chat logs. He lied about good many other things. His associates with Snake Thing. Snake Thing is arrested. So, I don't know. There might be some more truth to this than a lot of people, critics alike, would like to admit. So, but yeah. So, why did 2 Griffin gain notoriety in the fandom? He acted like he was really top shit when maybe he wasn't. And, with all respect to 2 Griffin, I'm sure he's, like Foxler, a decent guy if you had a chance to talk to him. But as far as, like, his presentation online, very abrasive. Very abrasive. And I guess JSONFX falls into that too, but at least JSONFX, there's sort of an admiration I have to some of the things he says, the audacity, the nerve, the, bluntness of how his delivery. So, maybe the thing that he said itself isn't very pleasant, but, it's honest. Like, you are getting the real JSONFX and not just what you want to hear. So, but yeah, off the top of my head, that's pretty much like what comes to mind with what makes a Popufur, And, if you want to be the furry like a representative of the furry fandom, like a face of the furry fandom, maybe just take some lessons from these people and how you market yourself and how you present yourself to the masses and do something that gets you noticed. But if you do something that gets you noticed in a negative way, don't be surprised if you get pushback. And I mean like pushback as in people hating on you, people making long threads, or basically they're just bashing you or trying to like get under your skin. But don't let that bother you. You're bound to get some critics. There's always going to be some hecklers in the back of the room. Okay, so don't let that hold you back. Just don't be an ass about it. If you be an ass about it, you better fucking be good about it. Like a good asshole, like one of those comedians that insult the audience, and in such a way that people are just like, all right, this guy's an asshole, but he's an asshole that makes me laugh. So, because if you're just gonna be an ass, people are going to recognize that very quickly, and they're not going to like you for it. Just being honest with you. So, all that being said, I will ponder upon that some more. I will try to refine how I convey all this to you all. But for right now, for all intents and purposes, I think this is something I can rest my hat on. So, until next video, guys, take care and peace. I hope you all have a better one.